thank you all, and thank you to our charming and generous guest of honor. Ladies, why don't we let the men enjoy their port?
The Gilded Age has already given fans a glimpse into one of America's most prosperous and transformative times, and with Season 3 on the way, there's a whole treasure trove of historical events and scandals to dive into as the show moves into the 20th century. Now that the new season is confirmed, Julian Fellowes and the team can really dig into the late 1890s for inspiration, tapping into the lives of famous historical figures like the Vanderbilts, Rockefellers, and other industrial giants who helped shape America's capitalist boom. While the Gilded Age draws from real-life events, there's a lot of juicy material still to explore from the time, especially with the Vanderbilts and other wealthy families. The show starts in 1882, and if it continues with this yearly progression, we could see how events and scandals from the era affected both the elite and the working class. Sure, it's too late to cover the whiskey ring from 1874, where distillers and officials were caught trying to cheat the government out of alcohol tax, but there's plenty of room to dig into things like the Tammany Hall corruption. With all that to work with, Season 3 has a lot of potential to crank up the drama and intrigue with even more real-life events that make this period of history so captivating. The Gilded Age has done a great job of bringing the opulent world of the 19th century New York to life, but there are plenty of real-life scandals and historical events that could turn the drama up a notch in Season 3. Let's take a look at some juicy historical moments and figures that could really shake things up in the show. First, there's Ward McAllister, a historical figure who played a significant role in New York's elite society. Known for creating the famous 400 list, which named the top 400 socialites of New York, McAllister was a man who knew how to work the system. He even charged people up to $250,000 to help them gain access to high society events. But the real drama comes when he decided to write a tell-all book, Society as I Have Found It, where he exposed the very same aristocrats who embraced him. In the Gilded Age, his scheming between Mrs. Astor and Bertha Russell could set the stage for a major fall from grace. Watching McAllister get a taste of his own medicine would add an intrigue which rocked New York society. White, known for designing the Washington Square Arch and several other iconic structures, was shot in 1906 by Harry Kendall Thaw, the husband of Evelyn Nesbit, after a long-running affair. Thaw shot White in the face after had drugged and assaulted Nesbit. The sensational trial that followed, often referred to as the trial of the century, could easily provide the kind of gritty, shocking storylines the Gilded Age fans are hoping for. It would be a perfect way to bring some high-stakes drama to the screen. Then there's the incredible work of Ida B. Wells, a journalist who led the charge against lynching in the late 1800s. During this time, thousands of black men and women were lynched, and Wells's work exposed this horrific practice. In the Gilded Age, Peggy Scott, a young black journalist from Wells's courage, using her own investigative skills to shed light on the growing racial tension of the time. A storyline like this would give Peggy a major arc, making her a more prominent character while tackling an important social issue. Speaking of social issues, the Gilded Age could also explore the work of Victoria Earle Matthews, who founded the White Rose Mission and Industrial Association in 1897. These organizations helped black women transition into New York society by offering job training and support. With the focus so far on characters like Peggy and Mr. Fortune, bringing Matthews' story to the forefront would provide another layer of depth to the show, as well as shine a light on the lives of black women navigating a rapidly changing world. Political corruption could also be a major storyline. Tammany Hall, New York City's Democratic Party organization, was notorious for its corrupt dealings, with figures like Boss Tweed embezzling millions from the city. The influence of Tammany Hall could make for some great drama in the Gilded Age, particularly as the show explores the dirty dealings behind New York's political landscape. Highlighting the social disparity between the powerful elites and the working-class New Yorkers would add more texture to the show's already rich world. As the series moves into the 1900s, the opening of Ellis Island could become a major point of focus. Ellis Island, which opened in 1900, was the entry point for millions of immigrants coming to the United States. The sheer scale of immigration and its impact on New York's population could provide an interesting backdrop for the show. By this time, New York was growing rapidly, and the influx of new people would have created tension and challenges for both the working class and the elite. Highlighting the cultural clashes and economic changes during this period would bring a fresh perspective to the show's already rich historical setting. In terms of family drama, The Gilded Age could take a page from the Vanderbilts' own story, particularly with Bertha Russell's push to marry off her daughter Gladys to a duke. In real life, Alva Vanderbilt married her daughter Consuelo to the Duke of Marlborough, a British aristocrat who had a title but little money. The parallels to Bertha's plotline with Gladys are clear, and the dramatic tension that would come from Bertha trying to arrange a marriage for her daughter against George's more progressive views on love and marriage would add a lot of spice to the show. Similarly, Alva Vanderbilt's own journey after divorcing her husband, William Vanderbilt, could offer an interesting direction for Bertha's character. Alva's divorce in 1895 was one of the most scandalous of the time, and after her divorce, she became a key figure in the suffragette movement. If Bertha were to experience a similar scandal, it could lead her down a path of self-discovery as she navigates a changing world and perhaps even takes up the cause of women's rights. This would make Bertha's character arc much more dynamic and provide a deeper exploration of the role women played in society during this period. With these storylines from history, The Gilded Age has the potential to delve deeper into the social, political, and cultural issues of the time. By exploring these events, the show could go beyond just the glitzy world of New York's elite and offer a more nuanced look at the challenges and contradictions of this rapidly changing era. Whether it's through Ward McAllister's fall from grace, the trial of Stanford White, or the crusades of figures like Ida B. Wells and Victoria Earl Matthews, Season 3 could easily elevate the show and make it even more compelling for viewers. With a year passing since the Season 2 finale, the latest update on The Gilded Age comes from star Carrie Coon, who plays Bertha Russell. She recently shared an exciting update about the ongoing production of Season 3. While specifics on the timeline remain unclear, Coon revealed in an interview with Screen Rant that the cast is actively filming, saying, "We're shooting it right now, honey, so hopefully we'll be wrapping up by January." She also mentioned that after filming, post-production work like CGI would begin before the season is ready for release. Coon expressed her excitement about the project, highlighting the great experience of working with a talented cast and crew. She added, "I'm heading to Newport next week for more mansion time," which hints at some luxurious settings for upcoming episodes. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.